we are not friends anymore. Cannot believe you've done this to me. Dude, I wouldn't do this to my worst enemy. What's up, weirdo? Street Surgeon here, and I'm feeling like a spicy meatball today. I don't know, maybe that's just indigestion, but either way, I feel like it's time to ride something Italian. I don't know if the Moto Guzzi V7 is an Italian stallion or more of a Italian pony, but yeah, that's a Guzzi. Either way, it's going to be my steed of choice, for right now anyway. Now, many of you are probably saying, why is Shade Tree Surgeon on a Moto Guzzi V7? And possibly even as many as 12 of you might be saying, finally, Shade Tree Surgeon's riding a Moto Guzzi. Well, I actually have done a review on a Moto Guzzi before. Kind of a longer term review than my normal just ride it around the block, though not super long term. I only had it for a few days and I rode around the mountains of Nevada with it. It was a lot of fun. It was Moto Guzzi's adventure bike, but one I think kind of shares a lot of stuff with this bike I'm on right now. I forget what it was called. It's got some dumbass name. Italians, they love their dumbass names, specifically for adventure bikes for some reason. They'll usually stay with something slightly normal for their regular bikes, but as soon as it becomes an adventure bike, it's like the Strada, Multistrada, Tow Reg. I don't know, man. They just be making shit up over there. And to be honest, I'm here for it. I love a bike with a dumbass name. Sure beats the hell out of some numbers and letters. But even a dumbass name was not enough to keep me from giving the Moto Guzzi adventure bike a bad review. Now, I don't know if it's just because it doesn't have all the adventure bike doodads on it, or it's the fact that I'm not coming right off 160 horsepower pasta rocket. This engine feels really peppy and really right at home in this bike. It feels exactly how a cafe racer or a brat bike should feel. All the power right when you want it, right off the line, peppy, fun to drive around town. I'm immediately having fun. I'm immediately kind of wanting to be a little bit of a hooligan, but a hooligan in a way that's probably not going to land me a felony. Yeah, this is like a safe, edgy hooligan bike over here. Performative male hooliganism on the streets. You know what I'm talking about, like elder millennial, safe, edgy. The kind of guy who runs down to his local brew pub on a lazy Sunday afternoon on his Moto Guzzi, gives it a couple blips of the throttle when he pulls in the parking lot to impress all the 19-year-old Zoomer waitresses who work there with nose rings and tattoos. That is fun. That's not me disparaging the motorcycle. That's a fun kind of hooliganism. Yeah, you could probably get a felony on this if you tried hard enough, you know. Just like you should check the IDs of those waitresses before you throw them on the back seat of the Guzzi, buddy. You gotta keep your nose clean. But you know, you'd have to either really try or be really careless. This feels like a fun amount of danger. Just exactly the kind of performative male when you roll into the parking lot and you're the kind of guy who's got Sportster energy, but there's no way that you're showing up on a Sportster. Well, there's this, the Italian Sportster. There's probably never going to be more than 1 or 2 of them at bike night, and people are always guaranteed to ask more questions about this motorcycle than they are pretty much any Harley Davidson. Just the kind of thing a performative male needs to feed his growing ego. It is nice though. I'm liking it. I'm immediately liking this motorcycle. And the reason I'm on this motorcycle is because it was donated by a very good friend to Forgotten Angel, subscriber to the channel, who donated several other bikes. And this motorcycle right here, this Moto Guzzi, could be your motorcycle. In fact, we're giving it away very soon. We're pulling an early ticket from David's Goldwing raffle, and somebody's getting the performative male Guzzi, baby. We're gonna call it the Bushwick Mustache, the LA Felt Cowboy Hat, the Statutory Rocket. This bike has got what you need if you like to be seen, but you don't necessarily want to go to jail for it. Honestly, like the perfect second motorcycle. Like if you have a big ass Harley or a touring bike or a sport touring bike or even an adventure bike, this is like the perfect, like, put around Sunday, hit the brew pub, hit the restaurant, take the new waitress, you know, that freshman at NYU, Haley with the nose ring, you know, take her out on a date, and Brandi Lee next week. You know her, she's the one who was born in 2002 but always wears Nirvana shirts. Don't forget, I think you made a plan with Carly the week after that. You know her, she just graduated, you know, not from college, and she's got the post-ironic infatuation with Hannah Montana's early catalog. Anyway, I should stop talking. I should stop talking so much shit. Well, I should. It's not going to happen though. I'm not even sure which generation Zoomers are. Are they the youngest one that's legal? I'm not sure. What's the latest generation that's legal for everybody? I'm not even sure. I think it's Zoomers. Anyway, I'm glad I don't know. I think it'd be more suspicious if I was completely positive on that one. So, well, we'll take that as a pin in the cap. Anyway, where do you ride an Italian motorcycle? Well, to go ride more Italian motorcycles, of course. Can you dig yo man? All right, let's see if my buddy Trevor's kicking around Ducati of Tampa Bay. He was so understanding last time. Now, as tempted as I am by a very nice Trevor's maybe foolish offer to ride his hot-rodded, tricked-out Multistrada, you know, I didn't come up here for that. I came up here to ride something that was a little more on the Moto Guzzi V7's level. So the very first bike I'm gonna ride is the Ducati Scrambler. These are bikes that, of course, I made fun of the marketing when they came out because that's what I do, baby. What do you want from me? But I've never actually ridden one. I only made fun of the commercials, and I've always been a huge fan of how they look. I love that Ducati made something like this. Now, spreading the Scrambler name across all these different things always seemed kind of hokey to me, but ultimately the bike speaks for itself. I think they're gorgeous motorcycles. For Ducati, they're incredibly affordable. They have a simple design. They're not loaded down with electronics and crazy modes or anything like that. This is just a bike. And I like that. And I think a lot of other people liked it too because Ducati sold a ton of these. Now, what I will say about this one is I am shocked. I don't know if this is a low model. This is an 800. I am shocked at how low this seat height is. It literally is below my in-seat. I think that Dragonbot, Kayla Astor, could probably ride this and at least get 1 foot down on the ground. For something to have Scrambler in the name, having a seat height that is this low is super impressive. And I like flat plane that goes across it. It's got big old radial Brembos in the front. This is just a really good looking motorcycle. But after years of talking shit about how they named it and how they advertised it, it seems to me I should probably actually ride one. Unless I have ridden one and I forgot about it, which I don't know if that says anything good about the Ducati Scrambler. But I don't think I have. So sorry to all the bikes out there that might have forgotten. And you know, after a while, some of the girls and some of the bikes do start to blend together a little bit. What can I say? I am but man. Especially sorry to all the ladies. As I always say, I might be a good dog, but baby, I'm still a dog. I didn't even notice this. This is exactly Ducati Scrambler aesthetic. Dudes in wax canvas jackets who pretend like they customize a bike, but all they really do is put electrical tape over the headlight. Well, they got you covered right from the factory. Ducati Scrambler 800. Let's see what this thing's made of. That's wild. My feet are both flat on the ground and my knees are bent sitting on this thing. Now, it doesn't feel so low that it feels ridiculous. There is a neat trick to have my knees bent, feet flat on the ground, but not have the bike feel like I'm sitting on the ground. I don't know how they get away with it, but they have. Nice wide bars. I immediately like this. Same kind of mood as the V7. Safe, edgy, wide bars, V-twin engine. Yeah, go right ahead, man. Just commit a few misdemeanors. You're allowed, you know, as a treat. Now, I said it had the same kind of attitude coming out of the parking lot as the Moto Guzzi, but that ain't the Moto Guzzi. This thing has got a whole lot more pep in its step, baby. It is creeping into felony territory, not just misdemeanor on this thing. Yeah. Oh, well, if the Moto Guzzi is a performative male, the mustache from Bushwick, then the Ducati Scrambler 800 is a performative male who's gotten way too into their character. This is method acting gone awry. I really like it, though. Of course, this is a 2024 Ducati Scrambler, and it's got 100 cc's on the old Guzzi, so that makes me wonder if Moto Guzzi's new stuff is kind of caught up to what Ducati's doing a little bit. Damn, dude. They got some catching up to do. This bike is legitimately pretty dang quick. Yeah, I like that. In fact, at first blush, I like everything about this motorcycle. like a lot. This just seems like exactly what I want in a bike. Like I said, the wide handlebars, punchy engine, just kind of that feel to the bike where it feels like it wants to ride on sidewalks and pop power wheelies and just kind of be a general nuisance. It definitely needs some exhaust. Uh-oh, the fuzz. Nothing to see here, officer. Just a member of the Law-Abiding Citizens Club out for a ride on my bright red Ducati. Okay, they're not turning around. Coppers, it was me the whole time. I'm kidding. I got nothing but love and respect for the local constabulary here in the Tampa Bay area. All I ask is, that you love me back. Dude, I like this bike a lot. No, it's not the absolute fastest bike in the world, but it easily rips wheelies. It feels like it's a featherweight motorcycle. I don't know how much it weighs, but if you told me it weighed 350 pounds, I'm sure it weighs more than that. But if you told me that, I'd believe it. This bike feels just so much fun without so much power that you're gonna wad yourself up. You can wreck any motorcycle, even one that makes 10 horsepower, and kill yourself on a pogo stick, let alone a motorized two-wheeled vehicle. But there's something about wringing the neck and having fun with something that when you really whoop on it, you don't have to worry about it biting back too hard. Yeah, that wouldn't get old. I think I'm starting to see why Ducati has sold so many of these things. So I had to change my camera settings. I mean, my DJI is pulling triple duty today, and I had it on my regular record me standing behind the motorcycle settings. Oh well, it still probably looked good, but not as good as that ultra wide, baby. Gotta get all of these handlebars in the shot. God, this bike rules. I really like this. This is no joke. I like this motorcycle a lot. I like the Moto Guzzi V7 a lot too. But specifically, man, this bike is just like... it's exactly the kind of fun I want. They make such higher horsepower bikes than this, and even ones that are kind of set up like this that make really wild and crazy horsepower numbers, but I don't know, it just feels right, man. If you're a fan of a Ducati Scrambler, if you own one of these and you love that bike, I never disliked them. I never was like, those bikes are stupid or bad or dumb. I never felt like that. But I will say that now I get it. Like, dude, I get it. This bike is awesome. Maybe it's just because like the last Ducati I rode was that just insane, hyper fast Streetfighter that almost didn't even feel usable on the street. And this just feels exactly what I would want. There's exactly the punch I would want for ripping around the city. Would say if you're coming off a Harley Davidson or something like that, it's probably gonna be a little low on torque for you, but I'm not always just obsessed with torque. I do like it. It is a lot of fun, but since this builds its power a little higher in the rev range, it kind of just like invites you to wind it out and feel that power come on and feel it hit. A very satisfying feeling, if I'm being totally honest, y'all. It feels good to let it roll all the way up to 9,000 RPM. It's a very enjoyable experience, even with no exhaust on it. And I gotta imagine if you uncork this thing and let it sing, it's just that much more enjoyable. Damn. Good job, Ducati. Fucking good job. Now I know in the last test ride video I did at Burt's, I was already on a Ducati Streetfighter, but this one is much different. I was on the V4 Streetfighter, top of the line, fastest Streetfighter they made. That bike was out of control. And do I really need to experience that again? Well, the answer would be yes, but this is a very different bike. This is the V2 Streetfighter. Saying V2 sounds weird to me. We're just gonna go ahead and call it the V-Twin. I know Ducati doesn't like that. They want to say it's an L-Twin, but looks like it's in the shape of a V to me, dog, so that's what we're calling it. There's a few things I really like about this bike's existence overall, one of which is Ducati ain't forgetting about its heritage motors. The V-Twin, L-Twin, I get it. That's what people want. That's what made them. Just like Harley Davidson's big air-cooled V-Twin, just like Triumph's parallel twin, just like the Moto Guzzi's transversely mounted funky twisted twin, is that what they call them? BMW's boxer engine, Goldwing's flat six, you name it. Motorcycles aren't cars. They don't have to make sense. I like it more when a motorcycle's engine is like a challenge. That's what I want from it. I want that engine to challenge me. I want it to be a stone in a river that has been smoothed by the water and creates beautiful turbulence in my life. That's what I want out of a motorcycle engine. And when you try to make them too perfect, to me, that just sucks some of the magic out of it. Talking to some of the guys from Ducati who are here, their plans with this engine, right now, it's in the Streetfighter and the Panigale, whatever they want to call it. They're the pasta rocket with the fairings on it. It's in those two motorcycles with the V4 also being an option. But what they're going to do is take this same engine, which is a non-desmodronic valve engine, so your service intervals are far and few between. They're gonna take this and spread it across a bunch of different platforms that they have, which is something that Harley's always done with their Big Twins and the Evo Sportster engine. It's something that Triumph does with their Parallel Twin. It's something that makes the engine and the bike that it's in way more affordable, which can be a problem for Ducati. It's something that makes the service intervals and the reliability and dependability and everyday use of the engine so much better. And, you know, depending on who you ask, that can also be a problem for Ducati. I love that they're doing that. I think it's really cool. It makes me very excited about this engine and to see what it feels like. It makes little less horsepower than their previous V-twin that was in the Streetfighter and the Panigale, but they were very quick to tell me that the track times actually beat the previous one on this bike. And to me, it makes sense. The V-twin, the Heritage engine, you know, what you would like about it above a V4, even though I love a V4, is less rotating mass. You want it to spin up faster. You want it to feel lighter. You want it to feel like you've got all the power, but there's less metal making that power. So to me, even though it makes a little less horsepower, if it weighs less and it revs faster and higher and is more playful, well, they're just giving the V-twin owners more of what they actually like about the engine. So let's see if I like it. Yeah, this has aftermarket exhaust. I think I'm gonna like it. Wow, reliable Ducati with Japanese level service intervals. Man, I remember when Ducati used to be cool. They've really gone downhill. Can you imagine if people made videos about Ducati like they make them about Harley Davidson? Anytime Harley Davidson is just like, oh, look what cool, or we're gonna make this engine more reliable, or we're gonna make it cheaper, or do anything along those lines, everyone's just like, God damn it, Harley's gone woke, go broke. Can you believe what Harley's done? I guess Italians already got gold earrings and gold chains nestled in chest hair and are wearing mesh shirts and smelling like a flower shop. So I don't know how much water the whole going woke thing is gonna count against a real life Italian Casanova, oiled up and ready to be suave, sultry, and ambiguous. Immediate impressions on this motorcycle? Okay, never mind. My next impression was, okay, yeah, it's really fast. But my immediate impressions, just like pulling out of the dealership, was, wow, this feels so normal? I don't know, normal compared to that Streetfighter that I was riding over at Burt's? It's a throttle crack away from being very not normal. It makes less horsepower, but it's way lighter, it revs faster. So I try not to look too much at facts and figures and charts and graphs and all that stuff. I don't really freaking care. I don't need to bust out the calipers and measure every part of this motorcycle to know if I like it or not. I gotta put my ass on the seat and crack the throttle wide open. That will tell me if I like it or not. And knowing exactly how much horsepower it has or how much it weighs does absolutely nothing for me. It does nothing to heighten my enjoyment of the bike whatsoever. In fact, usually for me, it takes away, because then you start comparing it, and comparison, as we say, is the thief of joy. So when you're measuring all the stats and you're fighting your motorcycles like Pokemon before you ever throw a leg over one, which is how motorcycle magazines and traditional reviewers stay in business, so they're going to keep on doing that. But when you do that, I feel like it takes something away from the bike. The visceral experience of riding a motorcycle is so much more than anything you can write down on a piece of paper with numbers. Give me a fucking break. So it makes less horsepower. Well, you could have fooled me. This thing just feels like a rubber band. It feels like there's just kinetic energy inside it waiting to be released. It's wound up and it's just waiting for you to press that button. And then, you shift it up and we're in 5th gear and I'm like, oh no, I'm just putting around. Is it a Ducati? I thought it was just a red Japanese bike. No, this feels totally normal. Up in 5th gear, putting around, still got plenty of torque, lugging it around, plenty of power, and that feels like something that could be a card-carrying member of the Law-Abiding Citizens Club. Dig a little deeper. Drop a few gears, scratch beneath that nice, friendly, smiling surface, and you're gonna find something evil down there. Damn, dude, very evil. I keep forgetting, it's a Ducati. Even their, we'll call it a base model, has a quick shifter, and here I'm using the clutch like a dipshit. Especially coming from me, it just sounds like total sacrilege to say out loud. But I think I like this motorcycle. I think I might like this better than the V4. I don't know, man. I really don't want to say that. It's hard for me to ever imagine not wanting more horsepower, but damn, this is like perfect. They nailed it. This motorcycle is perfect. This is the perfect amount of power. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that about the Scrambler? Didn't I say the Scrambler was like the perfect amount of power? Take my words well salted, all right? If you can't be with the one you love, love the one you're with. That's my motto. Now all I can think about is that Ducati Scrambler, which I claimed had the perfect amount of power with this engine in it. I think that would be the perfect combo. This engine and the Ducati Scrambler. I wonder if that's going to be a part of their plan. I don't know, because the Scrambler is kind of like a retro-looking bike, and I don't know if they're going to get away from the air-cooled engine in that. But that combo, no, I ain't got the credit for that kind of stuff. When dealerships run my credit score, it just comes back with like a secret alarm and a skull and crossbones saying, beware this man. But riding it around, imagining this motor in the Scrambler, well, it makes me wish I had the credit to try. Because, yeah, I think I'd be tempted. Shit, I'm tempted on the Streetfighter. Oh, man, I'm a V-twin guy. I love V4s too, though. I really think I might like this better. Oh, that's weird to say. I think I like it better. What the heck is wrong with me? I think my morning awakening might have been a macro dose instead of a micro dose. Because this just is not like me. But I gotta admit it, I cannot tell a lie, unless there's angry wives, husbands, and boyfriends involved. But, I usually can't tell a lie, so I'm gonna have to be honest about this one. I like the V2 better. I do. I like it better. I don't want to do them back to back, but I think I like it better. I probably wouldn't want it in the Streetfighter. Honestly, these are really cool bikes. I don't really like the whole front headlight. I think the whole Ant-Man insectile front headlight, it's just not my thing. And if they put it in a monster platform, if they put it in a Scrambler platform, and it behaved just like this, like it had this exact same power, nothing different, this exact same power, I might try to figure out, I don't know, I might try to figure out how to get one. I don't know if I could. I don't think I could, but I'd probably try. Facts and figures and spec sheets, all that bullshit. I guarantee you there is some dude on Reddit right now just writing a big old rant about Ducati and how they betrayed their core customer base and how the new motor is a total dog shit, turd, slow piece of crap. Their old V2s were better and all this stuff, and he's never even thrown a leg over the bike. Spec sheets are the death of joy when it comes to motorcycle, in my opinion anyway.
And now we have something that is nowhere near stock. This is my friend Trevor, and he's letting me ride this bike, so I feel okay using the F word when it comes to Trev at this point. We have Trevor, the owner of Ducati Tampa Bay's personal Ducati Multistrada. Not just any Multistrada. You see, when the Multis moved to the V4 engine, and I've ridden one of those, it was an amazing bike. I will say nowhere near as fast as the Streetfighter, there's a reason for that, but when they moved to the V4 engine, specifically the Multistradas dropped. Can't complain about that. But when they moved for the V4 engines, Multistradas only, I assume maybe also the Diablo, but I don't know for sure. But at least the Multi, they dropped the Desmodronic system. They went to traditional valves. They make less horsepower. They're way less aggressive. And, you know, they got service intervals, again, like a Japanese bike, not like an Italian stallion, not like a pasta rocket ought to. You know, they say something's lost in translation when you make things a little bit safer. We want danger. We want excitement. We want to live on the edge. So this Ducati Multistrada has a Panigale Desmo V4 in it. And of course, you know, not just any Panigale Desmodronic V4 in it, one that is done up to the nines. This is a over 200 horsepower Ducati Multistrada that is, you know, calling it a weapon just doesn't seem like the right word. Just an aggressive entity, a creature fueled by gasoline and oil that wants us all to die. But, you know, more like the way a succubus wants to kill it. We may be going straight to the grave on something like this, but we're gonna at least enjoy the ride. I'm scared to ride this thing, not because it's fast. Never been afraid of a fast motorcycle. They're only ever as fast as you twist the throttle anyway, and I'm a grown-ass man. So no, fast motorcycles don't scare me. They can be scary while you're on them, but the idea of having them doesn't frighten me. I'm scared to ride this because in my heart of hearts, my greedy little heart of hearts, I want another Multistrada one day, and I'm afraid that this one's going to ruin me. But once again, whether we're going straight to the grave or whether we're being absolutely ruined for every other motorcycle and woman on the planet, it's still gonna be a nice ride. So let's take it.
Yeah, you ain't used to hearing that dry, open clutch on a Multistrada startup. That's for damn sure. Dry clutch on a Ducati, you usually get every head in the parking lot turning anyway because everybody just thinks they're broken. But if it's around a bunch of other Ducatesticles, starting up a Multistrada and hearing the rattle of a dry clutch will definitely get their heads turning. Now, you know, I definitely want to be kind of easy. This isn't my bike. Well, I guess none of them are my bikes, but anyway, this is Trevor's bike. Well, I mean, it's his dealership. I guess technically they're all his bikes. You know what? You guys have talked me into it. I guess I can ride this thing however I feel. I can feel myself already being ruined. Because it's not just the motor upgrade on this thing. Easy now. Yeah, that does go all the way up to 14,000 RPM. And there's a big semi in front of us. Now, it's not just the motor, it's everything. If it can be done, it's been done to this motorcycle. Easy now. Oh, yes. We've left performative male misdemeanors far, far behind us. And we're now on a motorcycle that's breaking 9 different traffic laws in every single one of the lower 48 and a few other countries as well. Just standing still, let alone engaging in the beauty, the arts that is kinetic motion. Oh my God, dude. I'm like, okay, you know, it's not that I'm afraid of the bike. I'm afraid of ruining myself. And I'm like, oh, don't pull it wide open, Josh. You can't put that genie back in the bottle once you know what it feels like. Every other Multistrada is not gonna feel the same. This motorcycle has transcended dad jeans. This is no longer just somebody's dad. This is a father. This is a cult leader. One of them cults where he's everybody's dad. No, this motorcycle isn't dad jeans. This Ooh, this is the All-Father. This should not be allowed. Or, I shouldn't be allowed to have it, that's for damn sure. Riding this motorcycle in 4th gear at 40 miles an hour, it just feels obscene. It feels, I don't know, like hiding in plain sight. You know the whole like wolf in sheep's clothing meme? It looks so nice and friendly, but in reality it's got teeth. Now, this is like the Far Side, where it's just a straight up snarling, slavering wolf, and it just has like a bloody dead sheepskin draped over its shoulders. Buddy, you are not fooling anybody. Definitely not fooling anybody. That happens really fast. Who let me do this? Trevor? Who let me do this? I can't even... Trevor who? I can't think about anything else, and I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not one of those one-track mind guys where I'm on the bike and I'm so laser focused. I'm saying I'm on this bike and I like it so much I don't want to think about anything else. Trevor who? I hope I remember you when I get off your bike. If I do, why in the love of Christ did Ducati ever decide to keep this engine out of the Multistrada? Like, why does this not come like as a regular option for the Multi? Probably because they would not sell any other motorcycle. This would just be, we're not Ducati anymore, we're now the Multistrada company. It's comfortable, I've got leg room, it's flickable. Shit, baby. If you wanted to go off-road, you could. Luckily those brakes work. This bike will make you run out of lean angle and talent real quick. Ooh, Trevor, why'd you let me do this, man? You're killing me. I am ruined. And it was very nice. Thank you. May I have another? I don't think I could afford this bike with this engine in it and all these modifications done if I sold every single motorcycle I own. But I might be tempted just to try and find out. Why'd you do it to me, man? It's all over. It was nice knowing you guys. It was nice enjoying motorcycles. Rest in pepperonis, baby. Rest in peace. I like bike. I'll remember it fondly. I remember when I used to just like bike, and now I just like this one. It's all over, boys. That's all she wrote. The fat lady has sung, and the tune she's carrying sounds a whole lot like V4 Desmodronic Multistrada. Trevor. This is fucked up, dude. I thought we were boys. I thought we were friends. We ain't friends no more, dog. We are not friends anymore. I cannot believe you've done this to me. Dude, I wouldn't do this to my worst enemy. You fucking ruined me, dude. Fucking asshole. Jesus.
Used to be a place I thought I could recommend. Ducati in Tampa Bay. You know, I thought these guys were cool, man. Thought Trevor was my friend, but all they do is make fast motorcycles even faster and make me want them so bad, make every other bike just not seem good enough. I don't know if I can endorse this place anymore. They're really putting the screws to me right now, boys.
The betrayal, the treachery, the heartbreak. Ugh. I can't even bear to look at it. I never thought I'd get done like this. How am I supposed to get off that damn bike and then hop back on the Moto Guzzi? A stalwart bike, an honest bike, leal, loyal, and true. But I've tasted of the forbidden fruit. It's not fair, boys. It's just not fair. I don't know if it'll ever be the same again. Wait, what's this feeling? What is that feeling? Something coming back to me. Yup, there it is. Yup, I still like bike, baby. I don't care what I'm on. If it's got two wheels and a motor, That's what gets me going. Baby, I've been baptized by the fire in your touch and the light in your eyes. I'm born to love again. I'm a brand new man. You cannot stop love, especially not my love, baby. I know there's a lot of ladies out there who watch this channel. They see old Shade Tree Surgeon doing his thing. They see him spreading that love around nice and thick, never running out. I always got enough jam, but I'll tell you this, it comes with a warning, baby. It's a powerful thing, a dangerous thing. Most women out there would wilt like a flower in the microwave under the laser beam of my love. Hey, baby girl, I'll fall in and out of love so goddamn fast they put a tachometer on it. Damn, I just thought of that right now. That's pretty good. No, it's pretty terrible. That sounds like some shit ChatGPT would say. You know what, man? There's a lot of cool motorcycles out there. There's a lot of hot women. But I'll say it again, you can't love the one you want. Love the one you're with. And I love this Moto Guzzi just fine.
And as always, let me not forget to give an extra special thank you to Sessions Cannabis Extracts. Our business partnership and my friendship with Sugar Tree J from Sessions Cannabis Extract is the reason we're able to do the things we do on this channel and keep it independent. He's donated plenty of bikes to Forgotten Angels, even though he didn't donate this Moto Guzzi. But what he did do is make a donation so we could make it loud. It only makes sense because Sessions sells the loudest of the loud in both carts and pre-rolls in the Oregon and PNW area. Ask your local bud tender if you're in the area about Sessions and Brapstar products, and if your local dispensary doesn't carry it, just ask them to order it on LeafLink and we'll get it right in there for you. Now, speaking of loud, let's do something about that Guzzi. Let's see if we can do something about this Moto Guzzi being noticed just a little bit more. It might not be as fast as the Ducatis, but you can at least do something about it feeling fast, if not necessarily being fast. All right, let's see what we're working with stock so we can get that comparison. I've heard worse motorcycles, but we're definitely a little bit of a Jetsons bike right now. Well, I just so happen to have these guys hanging around. Let's see. Holy crap. That thing weighs a ton. Now, do it fit? And if it doesn't, am I just gonna leave it with open exhaust and ride it around like that? Maybe. It do fit. I think it fits the whole mood of the bike. All right, let's see what this thing sounds like. So yeah, that exhaust is exactly what I want. As I said, it's safe, edgy, just a little misdemeanor, no felonies, and ride this thing around at speeds that feel too fast but are usually safe. Sounds like exactly what the doctor ordered. Now don't worry, this is a giveaway bike. I will be keeping the stock exhaust. I realize that that's not for everybody, so you buy a raffle ticket for David's Gold Wing, you're also entered to win that bike, which will be given away here pretty soon. I'm gonna be doing some more testing with it with that exhaust and having a little more fun before we pick its new custodian. But if you're the kind of guy who who wants to go stealth mode, don't worry, I'm not throwing the original exhaust away. It can go right back on. Huge thanks to everybody who's bought a raffle ticket so far. You're changing lives. David and Cindy went out today to help a young woman who called them desperate and crying from a hotel room with a baby. She had just escaped a horrible situation. A teenager has no diapers, no formula, no nothing, no food, just stuck in a no-tell motel where you pay by the hour with her screaming baby and not knowing what to do whatsoever, completely lost in this world. That literally happened earlier today, and Dave and Cindy went to go help her. And the reason that they were able to do that, it's not even because of this video, although this video will help them do that in the future. Forgotten Angels runs on a shoestring budget, especially after the federal government cut over $350 billion in aid to aged out foster care kids. They asked me if I could please share a post of this bike so they had enough money to go help this young woman. I shared it, you guys showed out and bought $500 worth of tickets to win this motorcycle right here, and they were able to go get her everything she needed and start getting her on the path where she's living somewhere safe and her baby can thrive and not repeat the vicious cycle that's so oft repeated with foster care children and the kids that they have. If you'd like this bike or David's Goldwing or a few other bikes that we're going to be giving away here as well, with a helping side dish of good karma, that link's down below. 100% of those proceeds go directly to Forgotten Angels. We are bad people doing good things. That's going to about do it for this one, guys. Until next time, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.